Peace. What up, Blue Tubers? It's been a while, but sorry about before. I didn't realize I was recording. But I didn't want to show off any of my skills because I didn't want to, embarrass, myself or even, challenge Mr. John Ramblin. You know, we don't need to do no "You Guys Serve" Part 10, anything like that. So, without further ado, big shout outs to the Visualmaniacs, of course. Those guys are awesome. I don't have to really go into that because I don't need to kiss up to them. For what? What? No. They're having their contest. Been kind of slacking lately, but then when I heard about no video responses are gonna be like obsolete around Thursday, I was like, oh shit, I got to get this done because I need to win. And not only do I need to win, I also need to support both of them. Actually, they're pretty good Blue Tubers, and I've gotten to comment and talk back with them, so it's an honor and privilege to see their channels individually grow, and also, of course, their collab channel, of course. And I think it was a pretty smart idea what they're doing. So, hey, $50, it's awesome. Thank you so much for even offering that. But enough of all this kissing butt and what y'all know about Voltron. What you know about that? Anyway, man. Yeah, y'all did something really hard, man. 20, top 20, like, man, how can I just pick this 20? Like, I had debated between 20 to like 40 titles, and I just pretty much, like, I said, you know what, man, screw this. Like, I just took the 20 I thought I saw in my cabinet and just took it. Like, it might not even be all the top 20 I wanted, but I would say, being a film fan, and I and basically, we're not super critics here, but we leave that to them. I mean, we're film fanatics. We like collect the movies, but I figure for the most part, and pretty much this top 20 is not gonna be to everybody's taste, but it's mainly stuff that I can watch pretty much over and over, or also has had some sort of impact within my life. So that's why it'll be top 20. It's not in any particular order. Like I said, like I'm kind of like getting this done, so I can be in the contest and show my support. So let's get this started. Alright. Start off with E.T. Super classic. Steven Spielberg. He was on a high pretty much from Jaws to pretty much, I would say, like, to Jurassic Park. Oh, actually in the 80s. Like, I'm not saying Spielberg is not on his game, but I think creatively you go through like a really good spell, and I think Spielberg had like his super hits during like the late 70s into the 80s, and of course into, I think, Jurassic Park. And I know E.T.'s a personal favorite of mine. I mean, I remember seeing this at a very early age, and of course it's had quite an impact on me. And as far as learning about films, you can't go wrong with that. This is a classic I can pretty much watch anytime, and that's Beverly Hills Cop, the original with Eddie Murphy, came out in 1984. I'm not discrediting the sequels. I thought Part 2 was still good. It was in the height of Eddie Murphy's, funny genius, and then like Part 3 was a total mess. Little side note for those who don't know, they actually filmed a pilot last summer. No, actually, last year, for Beverly Hills Cop, the TV show. It was supposed to be by Axel Foley's son, and kind of doing like the same BS that Eddie Murphy did. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, it didn't get picked up. So I guess we'll never see that pilot. I'm sure it'll leak on the internet one of these days. The guy who was supposed to play his son was Brandon T. Jackson. I guess he's probably best known for, I don't know what character he played. I didn't watch these movies, but the Percy Jackson movies. Yeah, the black guy in there. I don't know. Like I said, never watch those movies. Don't really care to. He's in a couple other things too. But anyways, I guess because it got a little buzz, now they're like reopening the door to do a fourth film. This has been talked about since the late 90s, and now this is like the upteenth time like they're gonna try and get this done again. I mean, personally, as a fan, I would like to see it get made, but then again, as a purist, I'd probably say to just leave it alone. Like, as far as his comic genius, I think like he is just at his top height, I don't want to get too much of the history behind this, but actually this was written for Sylvester Stallone, and it went through like a whole process with him, and then like they decided to go with Eddie Murphy, and Eddie Murphy kind of like improvised a lot of the scenes there. The classic scenes that we've known and loved, most of it was improvised by Eddie Murphy. So go figure. Anyways, that's Beverly Hills Cop. Of course, most of y'all know I'm a martial arts fiend. So this is one of my top 20, 36 Chamber of Shaolin, aka Master Killer, and it stars the great Gordon Liu. This is probably like the definitive kung fu movie. Probably the best training sequences probably ever, like for a martial arts film. I mean, it's really wide known, even with the RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan. He always talks about this. Actually, he does a commentary in here, which is very rare, and it's actually pretty good. Um, like I said, I know, like I said, you may not be into this, but if you do and you get a chance to, check it out. Doesn't hurt. Another classic, French Connection, and that's with of course Gene Hackman and Roy Schneider. Great pairing up, directed by William Friedkin. This came out in the late 70s, based on a true story, and it's just like, nice, gritty cop action thriller from like the mid to late 70s. I think there was like a spew of them, and they're all good. I definitely recommend this though. Something I can always enjoy watching, and I just recently got this Blu-ray, so booyah. Another favorite, I must have seen this like at least 15 times, maybe more. Big Ridley Scott fan, but I could have picked a few other Ridley Scott favorites, but I'm gonna go with American Gangster because of the rewatchability for me personally. I think most of y'all have seen this. Is the pairing up of Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington. It's pairing up, but I don't give the movie away. But they're not in the film together as much as you probably think, and you'll know what I'm saying if you watched it. So, as far as it being based on a true story and looking up some of the facts, I would say it's up in the air. I don't know. Maybe it's 50-50. Maybe it's like 60-40 BS and the 40% is true. Maybe even less. But I let that go a long time ago and just enjoy this as a movie. If you just enjoy this as a movie, then I think you'll have a better time with it. It's about like it's like about 2 hours and 30 minutes. I don't know. Maybe actually no. The extended version, which I always watch, is about under 3 hours, and it's an easy 3 hours. It goes by real fast. Nice cinematography. Like I said, classic Ridley Scott. And like I said, I could have gone with a few other Ridley Scott films, but I personally chose this one. It's American Gangster. Of course, like I said, I'm a martial arts fiend, and probably I would say there may be another Bruce Lee film that might maybe be better as far as action, but as far as overall production value and the impact it's made as far as culturally, and also for me, it's Enter the Dragon. Most of you haven't seen it. This is the last completed film Bruce did, and the first Hollywood production he did. So obviously, like I said, the production values is like part of the best. The action sequences is great. It's kind of like a James Bond meets James Bond meets like in a Hong Kong film, and they kind of like take the James Bond elements, they take Bruce Lee elements, and basically this is what you get Into the Dragon. I'm pretty sure most of you have seen this, and I've watched this. I couldn't even tell you how many times. So, and I just ordered the 40th anniversary edition, which I'll get very soon. So, another Spielberg favorite. I know some people are iffy on this one, but Jurassic Park. The experience you get, I first got when I first saw this in the movie theater, it was magical. That's what movies are supposed to be. If it's not gonna at least give you some sort of entertainment, at least be Marvel. And I think as a child, seeing like the dinosaurs and come to life, and the plot, even still today, it holds up very well. The combination of using animatronics / CG, I mean, that was unheard of, and the way they pull it off. Now, I don't really prefer sequels. I didn't like Lost World, and I didn't really like Jurassic Park 3. I'm not even sure how they're gonna pull off Part 4, but it doesn't matter. The original is all that counts. So, Jurassic Park. And what I put was I figured The Dark Knight. Reason being, I felt out of the trilogy, I think this is the best one. I think most people would agree. And it's funny, when I first saw it in the movie theater, I didn't like it, or I just didn't get it. I think I took someone at the time, someone younger, and I guess I had to try to explain the movie to him, and I was just kind of like, huh? And then like after watching it a couple times and understanding it better, like I was like, damn, this. I mean, I think it's like, as far as like comic book film and fantasy, it just wound up so tight. The plot, the characters, the story, everything just seems to be well put together. It's like it's very few holes, if any. And I mean, I think it goes beyond a comic book film. I think it's just a very solid, well-made film. And of course, this is the still book, which y'all have already seen 100 times. Sick. I've probably talked about this 100 times here. It's Karate Kid, the original. It's made such an impact in my life. And as I get older and older, as I watch this, I gain a lot of the wisdom behind it. And yeah, the action sucks. Like it's not even close to as far as choreography. It's not about that. It's actually just it's the story behind the karate and the whole bond between these two, because he needs him and he needs him. They both need each other. And in their own way, it's a blessing for them both to find each other and to bond, and they both gain something from each other. And it was a surprise hit. It was a big impact in my life. And the sequels, like I said, part two was actually not bad, and I think it wasn't like superior. Obviously, the original will never be outdone. I thought it was a pretty good sequel to it. Um, but that said, like when it did part three, it was just terrible. Like, I mean, come on, I'm not spoiling anything. In part two, he fights Chosen, and it's not a tournament; it's like life or death. And all of a sudden now you can't face the other guy now. Like if you've dealt a life and death situation, and now Daniel's like the biggest wimp, he can't deal with Barnes. Like it just made no sense. Like you've gained more knowledge in karate and survival skills, and now it's like you totally forgot that. So anyway, that was a cash in, as you may know. So yeah, got the kid. Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan. Now for some of y'all little people now getting excited for that new Star Trek into Darkness. A lot of this film was based off this. Wrath of Khan, of course, with the late great Ricardo Montalban who plays Khan, and of course, the old crew, Leonard Nimoy, William Shatner. Man, I love this movie. I've watched this 100 times at least. The story, everything is just, it's not like epic, because when you compare it now to Into Darkness, it's production values. It's not even going to matter. But what they did was they didn't more as much as far as the CGI and special effects and the epic part of it. They kind of just they made like a very personal, tight story, and that itself carries the whole movie. And the impact that it had at that time, as far as who dies, that was huge. I mean, like, beyond huge. And it was almost like blasphemy what they did. But, but it worked for the story. The needs of I don't have to repeat that, but the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, or the one. And that's basically the whole mantra of the movie. And, man, can't get enough of this movie. Is it better than Into Darkness? They're two slightly different films. Into Darkness borrows a lot from this, but I'm always gonna go to this one. So there you go. Of course, beyond ultra classic, Ghostbusters, the original, 1984. Man, this the use of comedy with sci-fi, a little thriller, horror. I mean, and Bill Murray, like, he was just like beyond on top of his game. Made such careers from Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis. Yeah, the second one, I guess. I mean, like, as a kid, I watched it and I liked it. I still like it, but watching now and trying to compare it to this, it's no way. Like, it's like way far. Like, it doesn't even like I don't know. Like, and I can understand Bill Murray's frustrations with it, and supposedly it wasn't really the story and script they were supposed to go with, and I don't know if we're ever gonna get the true story of what happened, but and like I said, like with Billy L. Scott, they're trying to revise this movie for like the last 20 years, and now supposedly they're doing a part three. Personally, if whoever played the video game for the Xbox or PS3 or PS2, whatever, you got your Ghostbusters 3. That's basically like a continuation from 2. They got the original cast members to do the voice acting, and to me, if there's never a Ghostbusters 3, I will always refer to the game. So there you go, Ghostbusters. I'm gonna go with the classic original Rocky. Most people love Part 4, Part 3, and they're great. They're fun, but this is the impetus. This is what started it all. This is what made Sylvester Stallone made him what he is today. Like, he demanded to star in a movie. Like, he wasn't. He could have sold the script, and God knows what it would have been. But he was pretty adamant and strong, persistent to not only sell the script, but to him to star in it as well. And he got his way, and the rest is history. You really watch this? Let me tell you, it's an excellent film. Not like this boxing or cheesy. Like, it gets a little cheesy after like the first one, but this one, like, it's really really good. Um, and it's not just about boxing. It's also kind of like a little love story too. And as far as persevering, and then like I said, the sequels, especially after part two, it gets more like popcorn fun, and I do like that. Don't get me wrong, but this is definitely excellent. Yes, the trailer's out for the remake, but screw that. I'm always gonna stick to my man Murphy here, the original RoboCop from 1987. This is a steelbook DVD version. I'm not going with the Blu-ray because this is one of my personal favorites, and I want like a very good HD transfer. So I'll stick to the DVD for this. And if you haven't seen it, pretty cool steelbook. So, and yeah, has a little artwork too. So come a little insert. But this is pretty cool. Look at that. Look at that. I just get you a little unboxing on the top 20. Look at this. Anyways, enough of that. Get back to this top 20 business. The original Die Hard. I'm pulling out old DVDs here, just to let you know. I have the Blu-ray this now. I don't think I don't. I just want to pull out the original DVD I had. The sequels aren't bad. Like, I think part 3 is probably better than part 2. And then the fourth one was okay. I bought the fifth one, but I didn't watch it yet. Maybe I may never. I don't want to get like a bad taste in my mouth. But this is pretty much a definitive action film. This film kind of like changed the genre. Like, this film has been redone 100 times, and it's maybe like 2 films probably I could think of off the top of my head that took the formula and became successful. Probably Under Siege and Speed. Right? I think those are the 2 that were successful, taking the same formula and making it, a movie out of it. But, this made Bruce Willis a big action star, and he still is. Personally, they need to just stop with the Die Hard movies. Just let it be. Let it be. Let it be. It can't get any better than this as far as the story is concerned, the plot, the direction, the acting, the characters. I mean, just being put in that situation, like, it wouldn't work today, especially like with all technology and everything. But it worked back then. That's for sure. Another personal favorite, Saturday Night Fever. This made John Travolta a star. And yeah, you would think, like, why would I pick this? As I got older and started watching this, like, I really started enjoying watching this. Like, it's, beyond a good story. Yeah, the cheesy ass dancing, and but back in this time, and of course the soundtrack. Like, this is one of the top selling soundtracks ever of all time. So I really do recommend this if you haven't seen it, and it's good. Trust me, my hair. Little inside joke if you have seen the movie. Okay, another classic that I've watched 100 times is Fatal Attraction with Glenn Close and Michael Douglas. But that time, no one would have suspected Glenn Close to play a character like this, but that's what makes it work. And man, let me tell you something. If y'all dating a girl or whatever, you with someone, after you watch this, you're gonna wish you didn't do anything stupid, because you learn very quickly. Don't scorn a woman, especially someone like someone like her. But the storyline is tight. It's like a nail biting, suspenseful thriller. Of course, it's '80s, so that's another reason why I like it. The direction, the cinematography, the score. It's just a really well-made film. I really do recommend it. So, Fatal Attraction. I know a lot of my films are from the '80s, but what can I tell you? Okay, you gotta put Star Wars in here, and I'm gonna pick the best Star Wars, and that's The Empire Strikes Back. Please, I'm pretty sure most of you have seen this, and if you haven't, the hell you doing? The hell you doing? So, I'm not gonna give away the storyline. Y'all pretty much know what this is about. Yes, I have the Blu-ray, but just I'm pulling out all of the sets. I figured I'd just pull out the DVD just to get the point across. So yeah, Empire Strikes Back. Now, like I said, I don't have the DVD for this, so I just pull this out. That's Indiana Jones, and I'm gonna pick Raiders of the Lost Ark. Man, one of the greatest action adventure movies ever made. It's just timeless. You can watch it. Could be watched 50 years from now, and it'll still be timeless. Harrison Ford, he went from one franchise and got his own with this one. Spielberg at his best. Like I said, him, Spielberg, Lucas, and Ford were like at the top of their game. I'm not trying to diss Temple of Doom. It has its own little beat to it. I personally prefer Last Crusade. I think that I like that more. But I mean, nothing beats Raiders of the Lost Ark. So yeah. And now that I think about it, I don't know why I didn't include Back to the Future. Please don't shoot me. But I guess I can make that an honorable mention, and that and Jaws. But I guess I have two more, and I can't let this go. Another Ridley Scott favorite, and that's Gladiator. With Russell Crowe. Man, I saw this in the movie theater. I had no idea what this is about. Just a brilliant film. I watched this like so many times, and every time I watch it, it still hits me and hits me. I had to buy the score of the film. Yes, I have the Blu-ray and the Steelbook, but there's an edition that I like to keep. So it's kind of like a digipack, extended edition. So that's Gladiator. And last but not least, if you don't know by now, my channel, Leroy Green 5, that comes from the character of Leroy Green from The Last Dragon. I don't have to elaborate too much on it. I've talked about it enough. This film has made such an impact on my life, not just from the martial arts perspective, but as far as, just trying to make it, like, I mean, anybody can relate to that. Like, you're this close, you want to finish something, you want to get this job, you want to finish school, you got the skills, but it's just like, what's holding you back is yourself. Everyone else is telling you got the skills, you got the mindset, and there's only so much anyone can push you, but at the end of the day, after all that support and love, you got to find it within yourself. So that's all about inner confidence, and that's what this film pretty much tells you, it talks about. So is it cheesy, is it campy? All the above. It's made in the 80s, and it really does beyond. It didn't age well. It didn't age well, but the music, I still love it. The characters, I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen it. It's way too many times, in the hundreds probably more. And yeah, this doesn't have a Blu-ray release, and I don't know what is going on with that. So we're gonna have to talk about that in another video. But that's my top 20 or 21, and if I went over, man, sorry about that. But that's my top 20, and I'm sticking to it. Shout out to the Visualmaniacs, and thanks again. Peace.